Okay guys, guess what? Told you that the 66 Ford Fairlane was not going to stay like it was. So now it does not look like an old guy's car with white wall tires. We got something a little more classy. The Ridler 606s with some modern day radial tires, 17-inch, and they fit perfectly. The stance is right, didn't lower it or anything. It just, everything's coming together. So for my very first ride on the road, I have somebody who will know something about a car that was built in 1966. This is my mom. Say hello, Mom.
Hello.
Yeah, we just finished doing our broadcast, our Sunday broadcast. Now I'm gonna take Mom for my first ride and her first ride in the 1966 Ford Fairlane. All right, Mom, let's get in. Yeah, I'm getting you in now. All right, Mom. This should be old school for you. My mom, I guarantee you, she got in a few 1966 vehicles back in the day. A little easier getting in here than it will be the Maverick, actually, because it sits kind of low and the seats are nowhere near up as high. So she can just kind of turn around in there. Ain't no shoulder belts. We just got a lap belt and a prayer. So we're gonna get on the road. All right, guys, let's hit the road. Okay, we have a little problem, guys. I'm not sure exactly what, but I do have a slight clue. Now, if you look at the wheels and tires on the plane, it seems as though we have nailed the stance. I like the way it sits. I like the way they fit within the wheel wells. I like the way they give a classic look and yet somewhat understated so that it doesn't make it look like something that it's not. This is not a modern car. This is a classic car. These are classic style rims. So we actually went to take my mom home. It was gonna be my first ride out. We made it just down the street before I started hearing some noises, so I'm gonna pull the wheels and find out why. I believe maybe we have an eccentric, maybe there should be an eccentric ring on these wheels, but you could hear, it felt like something scraping, so we need to get in there, and I didn't want to do any damage, so we just came right back and put the car in the yard. So we're gonna find out. Okay guys, well, we had planned on bringing you the first video ride in the new Ford Fairlane. By the way, Fairlane's name is Ivy. That's Ivy. So I set it all up. We got the wheels and tires all put on there, and I put my mom, got her all loaded in to take her home. She was all excited. We pulled out of the driveway, and I immediately started hearing some noises that didn't sound quite right. So I, rather than first put my mom at any kind of jeopardy or endanger us or on, and then secondly messing up the car in any kind of way, we just turned and went down the street, came back. I put the car away. We took the Maverick home. She was happy still because it was Mother's Day, and yeah, we had our I won't say major, we had a minor failure. And what happens when you're purchasing parts for a 1966 Ford Fairlane or anything else, you are at the mercy of whoever you're buying it from, knowing what they're talking about. If you go into these parts stores, you blow their minds. They don't have a listing, and if it's not in their computer, you're not talking to anybody behind the counter 9 times out of 10 that even knows or even knows how to find what you're looking for. So yeah, we have some issues there. A gas cap, that's one of the things that you would think it should be easy. No, I went to a couple of different parts stores. Could not get a gas cap that actually fits the 66 Fairlane gas tank. I actually have a new. This vehicle does have a new gas tank on it, so yeah, we're gonna have to figure out um, what size cap fits on it, because what is called for, even in some of the restoration books, the cap that they're showing is not what fits. So I may have to even find out where they got this tank from and maybe source that supplier for the gas cap. The other thing, as far as the wheels, we love those wheels. I don't know about you guys and how you guys feel about them, but I love those wheels. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted. And those Ridler 606 wheels on that car look exactly how I wanted them to look. They look classy yet kind of sporty at the same time. The fitment is dead on. But what we have when you're dealing with an older car, that car, the Fairlane actually still has drum brakes, which is one of those things that we're going to be addressing very soon. At least upgrading for now to disc brakes on the front. But what is happening, you have a small diameter hub on these vehicles, and this particular Fairlane has a 62 millimeter hub. And most of the wheels that you buy now have way bigger hole, which is what we call the hub, where the wheel fits around that. The wheel has an 83 millimeter, 83.82 to be exact, hole. So you either have to have some type of eccentric ring or even a lug nut that will center that wheel on the hub. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. We ordered some different lug nuts that have the centering ability on the end of the lug nut, and it also has those lug nuts that are on there are conical spline drives, which normally is good enough, but for that particular application, you need just a little bit more, because what will happen, even though you have the right bolt circle, 5 by 4.5, those holes that are in the wheel are not they're not tight up on the studs, is what we're saying. So it can have a little bit of movement based on the fact that you don't have a hub that's centering the wheel. Some of you guys are going to know what I'm talking about. Other of you guys are like, what? I don't understand. It has the right bolt pattern and shit. Yeah, that's a normal thing. But yeah, when we're dealing with stuff like the Mach 1, the Mustang, even the Maverick, when you go to the database, they have everything on there. They know what the hub size, they know what the wheels, they tell you what's going to fit, and they're pretty much dead on. But when you're dealing with an older car like this, you have to do your research. I did a lot of research as far as back spacing, what was going to fit on the Fairlane, what I wanted, the wheels that I want. And then you have to find wheels that are actually available. There are certain wheels, I probably looked 2 weeks at wheels and the sizes, and I would put some in the cart and say, oh, they only have one wheel, they only have this and that. Anyway, make a long story short, I love these wheels. If I had to do over here, I would buy these wheels again. If I was building an AC Cobra, I would have these same wheels, only wider. You have to be careful on the Fairlane to make sure that you're using all the fender well without having anything scraping. I have plenty of room inside. The outside edge is within the safety area as far as I am concerned. So yeah, I love the wheels. And as soon as the new lugs and everything that I need to get that underway, I will be mounting them up, and then we'll be going for our first real ride with you guys along in the 66 Fairlane. We're going to be doing some exciting things with that Fairlane. Let me tell you what. And most people are on board. Most of you guys have said that you love the new Fairlane, and I appreciate that. There's always going to be 1 or 2 people that don't get it, and I understand that. That's, like I say, that's their opinion, and they're certainly entitled to that. But yeah, we're going to be doing some things. You're going to see I'm not going to mess the Fairlane up. Let's get that perfectly clear. Everything that I will do to the Fairlane, if I choose to take it back stock and leave it stock, I can do that too. So yes, we're going to be eventually replacing the engine. It has a 289 2-barrel in it now, which is okay if you haven't been used to a lot of power, but you got to realize that I come from a background of driving turbocharged 700 plus horsepower vehicles. So anything less than about 500-ish horsepower is probably not going to whet my taste buds. So know that when we do address the horsepower issue, not going to tell you what we're putting in it, but I can promise you this: it's going to be north of 500 horsepower going under the hood. So, at that being said, we're going to have to do some upgrades. Not going to totally, go wild and cutting stuff. No, we're going to upgrade the suspension so that it will be able to handle the amount of horsepower that we're going to be applying to the pavement. And it's going to be a nice drive to the cruising type car. We're not taking it to the track. Sorry, spoiler for those guys who, well, I'll tell you what, let's just say this. At this point in time, I don't think we're going to be taking it to the drag strip, subject to change without notice. So keep on hanging on with us. We're going to get back to doing some more Maverick content soon. But this week we're going to have a surprise reveal of another vehicle. I'm not buying anything, so don't get excited. But another vehicle that I think you guys are going to love. One of my neighbors just got a new vehicle, and we talked about it. So we're going to be doing a review of that vehicle this week. So stay tuned. Put on your bell notifications so before this week is out, we will have some more content for you guys to look at. And it is an exciting thing that we're going to be looking at. It's one of those vehicles you're like, wow, I didn't realize that this was that, So can't tell you what it is now, but stay tuned to the channel, and we'll be doing some things really, really soon. Sorry we haven't been putting out a lot of videos. We've had a lot of stuff going on within the family. We've had family members that have been in the hospital. I'm still dealing with my dad and mom, making sure that they have things that they need to be comfortable. And that's always going to supersede anything that I do on YouTube. And I thank you guys for your patience, but stay tuned. We're going to be doing some things. So remember, as we always say, to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.